I never thought I'd be the kind of woman to risk everything for a single, reckless idea. My name is Vivian, and for 5 years, I've built a life with Ethan. A man whose wildfire spirit both captivates and challenges me. But lately, I've felt a chasm growing between us, an unspoken distance that no amount of love can bridge. Desperate to reignite the spark, I concocted a daring plan, something so far beyond my comfort zone that it terrifies me. A forbidden night meant to shatter our routine and awaken something raw. As the moment approached, my heart raced with equal parts dread and exhilaration, knowing one wrong move could unravel everything we've built. What happened next changed us forever. But at what cost? Picture this. I'm standing at the edge of my own life, peering into a mirror that doesn't quite reflect who I thought I'd be. My name's Vivian, and at 33, I've already got 5 years of marriage under my belt. But sometimes I feel older than my years, like life's daily grind has sanded down my edges. I'm a financial analyst in a mid-sized city, crunching numbers in a beige office that smells faintly of stale coffee and printer ink. It's steady work, pays the bills, but it doesn't light me up inside. I'm the kind of person who overthinks everything. Every word, every choice, every silence. I've always hungered for something deeper, especially in the connections I hold closest to my heart. Something that cuts through the mundane and makes me feel truly alive. Then there's Ethan, my husband. He's 26, 7 years my junior, and let me tell you, he's a force of nature. Where I'm steady, he's a storm, passionate, emotional, brimming with a youthful fire that I can't help but admire, even if I struggle to keep up. He's got this tousled dark hair that always looks like he just rolled out of bed, and these intense green eyes that seem to pierce right through you, like he's seeing every hidden corner of your soul. He's always in motion, fidgeting with a pen, pacing the room, like he's got too much energy to contain. We met at a local art gallery event a few years back, where he was showcasing his photography. His work was raw, unfiltered, just like him, and I was drawn to that honesty in an instant. I love him, I really do, deeply, in a way that's mature and accepting. But it's not always easy. Sometimes I feel this disconnect, like his boundless vitality is a language I've forgotten how to speak. There's someone else too, someone I've only just met. Her name's Lila, a 23-year-old I bumped into through a mutual acquaintance at a coffee shop a few weeks ago. She's vibrant, with this daring edge that's hard to ignore. Her short, choppy red hair frames her face like a burst of flame, and her mischievous smile hints at secrets she's not ready to share. She's got this aura of carefree confidence that's almost magnetic. I don't know much about her yet, but from the moment we spoke, something about her intrigued me, like she's a puzzle I can't quite figure out. Ethan and we've been on a journey, balancing his wild spirit with my more grounded nature. It's not always a perfect dance. Sometimes I feel like I'm holding him back. Or maybe I'm just too rooted to soar with him. Lately, I've been wrestling with this growing urge to do something bold, something completely out of character for me, just to bridge that gap I sense between us. I keep thinking back to this one night that changed everything in my mind. It's a quiet evening now, and I'm sitting in our cozy, slightly cluttered apartment with Ethan. The soft hum of the city filters through the cracked window, a constant reminder of the world moving outside while we're tucked away in our little haven. We're sprawled on our worn leather couch, the one that's seen better days but still feels like home with its familiar creaks and dips. I've lit a lavender candle on the coffee table, its faint, calming scent weaving through the air, trying to soothe the restlessness I can't seem to shake. Ethan's next to me, scrolling through his phone, chuckling at some meme he's just stumbled across. He tilts the screen toward me, his laughter bright and infectious, but I'm only half listening, offering a weak smile as my mind wanders far from this moment. I'm lost in thought, wrestling with how to reach him, how to dig deeper into the connection that feels just out of grasp. I can't help but feel this growing distance between us, and it's not because I love him any less. No, my heart still aches for him in the quiet moments, in the way I catch myself watching him when he doesn't notice. It's more about our energies clashing in ways I can't quite fix. I've always been the steady hand, the one who plans every detail, who needs structure to feel safe. Ethan, though, he's all wildfire and impulse, thriving on the unexpected, on moments that spark and burn bright before they're gone. I remember a fight we had just last week, his voice sharp as he told me I'm too controlling, that I suffocate the spontaneity he needs to breathe. Those words cut deep, not because they were cruel, but because I saw the truth in them. I've been holding on too tight, trying to mold our life into something predictable, and I know it's pushing him away. Sitting here now, with his laughter echoing beside me, I'm burning with this need to surprise him, to step out of the rigid shell I've built around myself and show him I can be more than just the planner, more than just safe. That thought festers in me over the next few days, growing roots I can't ignore. I'm at work, sitting at my desk, surrounded by the dull hum of the office and the endless grid of spreadsheets on my screen. My fingers hover over the keyboard, but my mind is miles away. Suddenly, a memory of Lila flashes through me, her bold, flirtatious laugh from that day at the coffee shop, the way it seemed to light up the room with a kind of reckless energy. She's everything I'm not, everything Ethan seems to crave, untamed, daring, a live wire of thrill. And right there, in the sterile glow of my computer monitor, an idea starts to form. It's unconventional, way outside anything I've ever considered, and it sends a jolt of both excitement and dread straight through me. I can't shake the thought, no matter how wild it seems. I'm sitting in that coffee shop again, this time with Lila across from me, and the air feels charged, like the moment before a storm breaks. The small, bustling cafe downtown is alive with the clink of ceramic cups against saucers, the low murmur of conversations weaving through the space, and the faint hiss of the espresso machine in the background. The smell of roasted beans hangs heavy, grounding me even as my nerves threaten to unravel. Lila's sitting there in a ripped denim jacket, her posture casual, but her eyes sparkling with a curiosity that makes my stomach twist. I'm fidgeting with my coffee spoon, the metal cool against my fingertips, turning it over and over as I try to find the words I've rehearsed 100 times in my head. My heart's pounding so hard, I'm sure she can hear it over the noise of the cafe. Finally, I take a shaky breath and just blurt it out. I tell her I want to give Ethan something truly unique for our anniversary, something unforgettable, and I think she's the key to it. I stumble over my words, my cheeks burning as I explain that I've noticed how vibrant and free she is, how full of life, and I believe Ethan would be thrilled by an experience with someone like her, an intimate moment, no strings attached, with me there to share in it. I'm expecting her to laugh, to walk away, to call me crazy, but instead, she leans forward, her grin wide and daring, and says, "I'm game if he is. Sounds like a wild night." Her words hit me like a spark, igniting something reckless in me, and I can't tell if it's relief or terror coursing through my veins. Over the next few days, I throw myself into planning with a precision that borders on obsession. Lila and I meet up again, and I lay out the ground rules with a firmness I don't quite feel. I tell her this is a one-time thing, that it's all about Ethan's desires, and that I'll be there, capturing the moment for us to hold on to. I go out and buy a small, discreet camera, the kind that's easy to hide but still sharp enough to catch every detail. Back at the apartment, I spend hours setting it up in our living room, testing angles, adjusting the focus, making sure it's positioned just right to frame the scene without intruding. I'm meticulous, treating this like I'm preparing a quarterly report rather than something so deeply personal. Every step feels surreal, like I'm watching myself from outside my own body. But there's a moment, late one night, when doubt creeps in like a shadow. I'm lying in bed next to Ethan, watching his chest rise and fall as he sleeps. His face peaceful in the dim glow of the streetlight slipping through the blinds. I wonder if I'm making a colossal mistake. If this will shatter everything we've built instead of bringing us closer. My fingers hover over my phone, tempted to text Lila and call the whole thing off, but I don't. I can't. Something in me needs to see this through, to step into the unknown and see what it reveals. The night of our anniversary arrives, a week after that coffee meeting, and I'm a bundle of nerves as I prepare the apartment. I dim the lights until the room is bathed in a soft, warm glow, shadows dancing on the walls. I put on a playlist of slow, sensual music, the kind that hums with an undercurrent of longing, filling the space with a rhythm that feels almost alive. I pour Ethan a glass of his favorite whiskey, the amber liquid catching the light as I set it on the coffee table. I'm wearing a simple black dress, the fabric clinging to me in a way that makes me feel both powerful and exposed. When Ethan comes home, I guide him to the couch, my voice steadier than I expected as I tell him, "No questions, just trust me." He looks at me, a flicker of confusion in those piercing green eyes, but he nods, settling back with the glass in his hand. My pulse is racing as I cross the room to the door, my hand trembling as I stand there, the door clicking shut behind Lila. The air in the apartment shifts, like the world just took a deep breath and held it. She'd turned back at the last moment, tossing a playful wink at Ethan, her voice light as she thanked us for a night she'd never forget. Then, with a casual wave, she was gone, her footsteps fading down the hallway. The silence that follows is heavy, almost tangible, broken only by the soft, lingering notes of the playlist still humming through the speakers. I cross the room, my movements deliberate, and switch off the camera. My hands surprisingly steady now after everything. I save the video file to a private folder on my laptop, tucking it away like a secret too big to hold just yet. When I turn around, Ethan's on the couch, his shirt slightly unbuttoned, revealing just a hint of the tension still lingering in his frame. His green eyes meet mine, and there's a storm of emotions in them. Awe, uncertainty, maybe even a question he's not ready to ask. I sit beside him, keeping a small space between us, not touching, just breathing in the charged quiet that wraps around us like a blanket. My heart's still racing, but it's not from nerves anymore. It's something deeper, something I can't name. We don't speak, not right away. It's like neither of us knows where to start, or if we even should. The weight of what just unfolded hangs there, unspoken, a presence as real as the couch beneath us. Ethan shifts slightly, his hand reaching for mine, his fingers brushing against my skin before he gives a brief, tentative squeeze. Then he lets go, like he's testing the waters, unsure if the ground beneath us has shifted too much to stand on. I don't pull away, but I don't reach back either. There's a strange calm settling over me, no regret gnawing at my edges, but no burning need to dissect every moment either. It's as if we've stepped into uncharted territory, and we're both just waiting. For what? I'm not sure. Over the next few days, we fall back into the rhythm of our lives. Work, dinner, small talk about the weather, or a project deadline. But the topic of that night remains untouched. A silent third party in every room. I catch him glancing at me sometimes, his gaze lingering a little too long, like he's trying to read my thoughts through the mask of normalcy I've put on. I wonder what he's feeling. Shame, thrill, confusion. I can't tell, and I don't ask. Maybe I'm afraid of the answer, or maybe I'm just not ready to hear it. In the quiet moments, when I'm alone with my thoughts, I find myself replaying fragments of that night. Driving to work, stuck in the morning traffic, the memory of Ethan's uninhibited passion flashes through my mind, vivid and electric. It's not just the act itself, but the way he let go. The raw, unguarded energy that poured out of him. A side of my husband I'd never fully seen until that moment. It sends a thrill through me. A warmth that spreads from my chest to my fingertips, and I grip the steering wheel a little tighter to steady myself. What surprises me most is that I don't feel jealous of Lila, not even a flicker. Instead, I'm captivated by this new version of Ethan, like I've glimpsed a hidden layer of him that's been waiting to break free. One morning, I'm standing in the bathroom, the door locked, staring at my reflection in the mirror. My eyes look different somehow, brighter, or maybe just more awake. I trace the lines of my face with my gaze, wondering if I've unlocked something dangerous in our marriage, or something beautiful. Was this a Pandora's box I shouldn't have opened, or a door to a deeper connection I've been craving all along? My reflection doesn't answer, but my pulse quickens at the thought, a mix of fear and fascination tangling inside me. The days stretch on, each one layered with that unspoken tension, and I start to feel the weight of our silence pressing down harder. It's a rainy Friday night, a week after that unforgettable evening, and I've set the stage in our apartment for something I've been building up to in my mind. The rain patters against the windows, a soft rhythmic drumming that seems to echo the nervous thrum in my chest. I've cooked a simple dinner, pasta with a rich garlicky sauce, and a bottle of red wine breathing on the counter. The living room glows with the warm, golden light of string lights draped along the walls, casting a cozy, intimate haze over everything. The air smells of basil and candle wax, a faint undercurrent of comfort that I'm clinging to as I adjust the plates on the small dining table. Ethan's sprawled on the couch, his laughter bouncing through the room as he recounts a ridiculous mishap at his photography studio earlier today. Something about a client's dog knocking over a tripod mid-shoot. His voice is light, carefree, and I can't help but smile, even as my stomach twists with anticipation. I've been waiting for the right moment all evening, and as I watch him sip his wine, his green eyes catching the light, I know it's now or never. I take a deep breath, the kind that feels like it's pulling courage from the soles of my feet, and I set my glass down with a quiet clink. "Hey, I've got something special I want us to watch," I say, my voice steadier than I expected. Ethan raises an eyebrow, curiosity flickering across his face as he leans back, gesturing for me to go on. I grab my laptop from the coffee table, my fingers trembling just slightly as I connect it to the TV with a cable. The screen flickers to life, and I navigate to that private folder, the one I've kept locked away in my mind as much as on this device. His gaze narrows, a question forming in the tilt of his head, as I hover the cursor over the video file from that night. I don't look at him as I click play. I can't, not yet. Instead, I move to him, sliding onto his lap, mirroring a position from that very footage, feeling the warmth of his body against mine, solid and familiar. The video starts, the soft hum of the speakers filling the room with sounds of a night neither of us has spoken about since it happened. I steal a glance at Ethan's face. His jaw tightens, a flush creeping up his neck, his eyes locked on the screen with a mix of shock and something deeper, something raw. I can feel his heartbeat quicken beneath me, and I'm not sure if it's embarrassment or something more primal stirring in him. The footage unfolds, unfiltered and vivid, a captured echo of passion and vulnerability. It's not just the actions on screen that hold me, it's the way every frame seems to peel back a layer of who we are, showing us in a light we've never dared to look at together. I'm watching Ethan as much as I'm watching the video, studying the way his lips part slightly, the way his fingers twitch against my waist, like he's not sure whether to hold on tighter or let go. There's a moment where the screen shows a particularly intense exchange, a dance of desire that's almost too much to witness again, and I feel him shift beneath me, his breath catching. My own pulse races, not from shame, but from the electric charge of sharing this with him, of seeing his reaction laid bare. I can sense the heat rising between us, a mirror to what's playing out before our eyes, and I'm caught in this strange, intoxicating space where memory and reality blur. Then comes the turning point, the moment that cracks me open in a way I didn't expect. Ethan's arms tighten around me, pulling me closer, his breath hot against my neck as he leans in. His voice is a low whisper, rough with emotion, as he says, "I've never seen you so alive." The words hit me like a wave, and I realize he's not just talking about himself in the video, not just about the wild, unguarded version of him captured there. He's talking about me. Me, the one who planned this, the one who stepped so far out of my comfort zone to create a moment that would sear itself into our memories. His words linger in the air, heavy with meaning, and I feel a warmth spreading through me, a quiet validation I didn't know I needed. That night, as we sat there, wrapped in each other's presence with the glow of the screen fading to black, something shifted between us. It wasn't just about the thrill anymore. It was about the trust we'd woven into that daring act, the unspoken promise to keep exploring the edges of who we are together. Months have passed since that rainy evening when I first played the video for Ethan, and it's become something of a sacred ritual for us. Not every week, not even every month, but on those late nights when the world feels heavy, after long, grueling workdays when my spreadsheets blur into nonsense and his photography shoots leave him drained, we find ourselves curling up on that same worn leather couch. I'll pull out my laptop, my fingers steady now, as I navigate to that password-protected drive, a digital vault for our most intimate secret. We've never shared this with anyone, never even hinted at it in passing conversation. It's ours alone, a hidden chapter of our story that no one else will ever read. Sometimes we watch with a spark of desire flickering between us, the images on the screen reigniting that raw electric energy. But more often, it's not about arousal at all. It's about connection. A quiet reminder of how far we're willing to go for each other. How we've pushed past boundaries, not just of the body, but of the heart. I remember one night in particular, maybe 3 months after the first viewing, when a storm raged outside, thunder rumbling like it was shaking the very walls of our apartment. We were both exhausted. Me from a brutal deadline, and Ethan from a client who'd changed their mind a dozen times. I set up the laptop, and as the familiar scenes played out, he rested his head on my shoulder, his breath slow and even. We didn't speak much, just let the moment wash over us, a tether to that night when we bared so much more than skin. There was another time, around the 6-month mark, when we'd just come back from a tense dinner with friends, the kind where small talk felt like wading through mud. I could sense Ethan's restlessness, the way he paced our living room, his energy coiled tight like a spring. I suggested we watch, not sure if it would help or make things worse, but when I pressed play, it was like a weight lifted. We sat close, my hand in his, and as the footage unfolded, I felt him relax against me, the tension draining from his frame. It wasn't about reliving the heat of that encounter so much as it was about remembering the trust we'd placed in each other, the way we'd leapt into the unknown hand in hand. These moments, scattered across the months, have become touchstones for us, little anchors in the chaos of daily life that remind us of the depth we've uncovered in our bond. Reflecting on it now, I can see how much this experience has reshaped me, in ways I never could have predicted. At first, I thought the gift I'd orchestrated was purely for Ethan, a way to bridge the gap I felt widening between his wild spirit and my more cautious nature. I saw it as a sacrifice of sorts, a step outside my rigid boundaries to give him something extraordinary, something that would speak to the untamed parts of him I sometimes struggled to reach. But as time has passed, I've come to realize it was just as much a gift to myself. I've always been the planner, the one who needed control to feel safe, who saw life through a lens of calculated risks and predictable outcomes. Stepping into that night, orchestrating something so far beyond my comfort zone, forced me to confront the walls I'd built around myself. I had to trust, not just Ethan, but myself, to let go of the reins and see where the current would take us. And in doing so, I discovered a strength I didn't know I had, a capacity for vulnerability that felt like shedding an old skin. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment if you enjoyed this story. This will help us create more engaging stories for you.